Strategy. One of the most important things when it comes to beginning to market your brand. So what I'm going to cover for you guys today is going to be how to make your strategy, how to prepare it, and basically what the customer value journey is. Now, of course, if you want more information over this, I did make a free course and I will drop the link and access to that below. But of course, if you like this video and you find it helpful, make sure you click that follow button, excuse me, subscribe button, and like the video. All right, well, let's kick right on into it. All right, guys. So as we go to explain this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly touch each thing, kind of go over it, and then I'm going to go over the exact details of how you can work this out and put this as a framework inside of your brand and use it. All right, so the first thing we have when it comes to any brand is going to be awareness, okay? So this is going to be your first stage. What any brand has to do is they have to gain awareness in order to attract valuable customers to buy from their brand, right? Okay, so the next step after you gain that awareness is having people engage with that awareness that you're giving to your audience, right? Okay, now we have subscribe. Subscribe can be to anything. That can be to your newsletter, that can be to your messaging campaign, that can be to SMS, okay? And this is what's going to be basically the retargeting ads, but the organic way, right? Okay, now we have convert. Convert is going to be basically the person goes into the form, they submit it, and then they convert into a customer. That means they've purchased, they've gone through, they're a good customer, okay? All right, now from converting that purchase, now you're going to excite them. How are you going to excite that person further with that purchase, right? So the way you do that is you're going to excite them. Now, once you excite them with that one product, you have then built authority and now work your way up towards the ascension stage, okay? And the ascension stage is taking them to where they know the product, they love the product, and then they've seen other types of products within your brand and are more likely to buy those products. And this is continuing to where their LTV is going to be on the longer run. Now, once we have them buying more than just one product, you are then going to move on to the next stage, advocate. Advocate is somebody who is going to be an advocate for your brand, right? Okay, so that is going to be somebody who supports your brand. And this can be also used in the point of like UGC or other things like that. Now, these two stages, advocate and promote, kind of play hand in hand here, okay? So advocate is going to be they love and they trust your brand and they'll recommend it to other people in person. Promote is going to be, well, if they have a larger following and that sort of thing, what are they doing to bring out those people that are in their specific audience? For instance, if they have a TikTok or something like that, and they have a larger following, those people can then be used, and that will be able to promote your product and your brand, enhancing your audience and buying further trust, okay? So that is a brief overview of the customer value journey. Now, let's go ahead and jump into some questions that you're going to be asking further along with these, right? So, number one is awareness, okay? And so, just to briefly kind of go into more detail about this, okay? So, and I'm going to read this off a little bit as well, is what is something you can do to gain a little extra awareness with your business, okay? That can be ads, that can be cold outreach, that can be close friends, that can be social media, etc. So, in order to use this thing, what you have to do is you have to take a deep dive analysis of your business and what you are doing in particular. Okay, so the first thing is going to be obviously the awareness. And you ask these questions and you look inside your business. Are you doing anything to gain awareness? Are you doing anything to make your audience larger? Okay. And what way can you improve these? What are you needing to do differently? So these are questions that you need to ask in order to fill in these boxes and begin to taper a strategy for your brand. Okay. Now, the second box, engagement. Now, if you are making a certain specific campaign for your audience and your goal is to try to get more engagement inside of your brand to then use and leverage further on, then you need to be asking yourself, where are you getting this engagement from? And of course, you need to be tracking this as well. Can you do better with your tracking and your engagement? And do you know your metrics? What can you do to gain extra engagement with your audience? Does it connect with your audience? And so on and so forth, okay? And this can be done through the type of content that interests them. Do you have a good hook? Do you have a good copy? Do you have a good creative? All these things need to be taken in place when it comes to the engagement. And of course, if you're tracking properly, you can then see all these different things. Okay. Number 3 with that as well, before I move on to number 3, so I'll just call this C, is you want to make sure that you are attracting the right buyer, excuse me. And how you do that is through the ad set and who you are targeting specifically for your audience. Can you improve on that? Where is it going on there? And of course, you read on what the engagement is, right? Of course, there's other metrics that you look in for that. But that's the point. Number 3, subscribe. Okay? One of the most basic things to do for your e-commerce store, or any brand for that matter, is to have some sort of funnel in which they subscribe to it, okay? Because one, if you have something that they subscribe to, you can run retargeting ads on that specific audience and then create a lookalike audience as well, okay? Now, along with the subscribe, you then have them with that initial interest, right? They buy your product, you have their email or you have their SMS. Now, what the average basis is in order to get somebody to then buy another product or buy more trust with you guys is to then see your content or see your advertisements at least an average time of 7 times, okay? And this 7 times will allow you to gain more trust and allow them to get more time to be able to, okay, this is a decent brand. I'm going to buy another product from them, okay? So it's very important that you guys get them on that subscribe list. Now, into more of the questions here. How many people continuously buy from you and are subscribed to you? Look at your lists. Are they following this, okay? Because then you can be able to target where the weak spot is in between these, and if they are going through your funnel and where that particular weak spot could possibly be. Where are you getting these people from? Again, a point of tracking. B, what do you use to promote these people to subscribe to you? Okay, and that just goes with your platforms and things that I've gone into earlier that I was talking about. And C, how do you improve the process? Again, what I was talking about earlier, okay? Number four is going to be converting into a customer, okay? Because sometimes you'll have your little thing for subscribe for something free or some type of device or other things like that. And that's what I mean by you have to have those retargeting ads to build up trust, because sometimes they'll even come on your page and they'll get the products in place, but they won't buy because they've abandoned their cart or whatever, etc., etc. Okay. So you then have to get those people to convert, because not everyone buys on the first time. Okay. So now you get to look at what your conversion rates are specifically for the advertisements that you're running or the people that are coming from your subscriptions in SMS or email. Okay. And of course, you can look at where the fall off point is in your funnel to then correct, right? Okay. So you need to be looking at the numbers in particular. How many people convert from your traffic on average? Do you like those numbers? Okay. Are they even good numbers to you? Like, are you gaining enough money from that? What is your cost per acquisition? What is your cost per click? You know, are these people who are buying from you? Because in those certain points that you have, you can look at your funnel again, like I'm saying, and fix what needs to be fixed. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to number 5, which is excitement, guys. You want somebody to be very excited about your product, whether that be that it solved the solution that they've been having for quite a while, or they can't wait to take that product and use that product specifically for what they're wanting to use their product for, right? Now, moving on further into the questions about the excitement. What can you do to entice somebody to have excitement? Okay? Excuse me, not entice. Giving them an incentive to have excitement. Get my vocabulary wrong. I need to have like a dictionary in front of me. All right, anyways. So what gets your buyer hyper interested in your product? Do you have anything with the purchase? Example, a future price discount, a collection, a PDF on ideas that can be used with the product. And this can be very, very, very useful if you guys implement a PDF download with, for instance, like something that's as simple as a kitchen tool. Okay. Like a kitchen tool can be used, you know, to grind up your veggies or make some spaghetti noodles or other things like that. Okay. I'm giving you really, really dumb instance here, okay? But anyways, you can make a little PDF that tells like, hey, you could make this recipe with XYZ. Hey, you can take this item and be able to make something with it. Or this is how you can use this. You know, just a couple of examples, of course, that you can use with that particular instance. Okay, and does it frame or, you know, point out all the most important and prominent features of your guys' product? Does it? Does it? And of course, you know, you should be doing this in your guys' funnel with, you know, touching briefly on a couple of points of what the specifics are of the product in your product description. But if you guys aren't doing that, well, you're probably not going to get somebody to convert in the first place. So just make sure your funnel's on point. Next part is going to be ascension. Yes, ascension, okay? And what we're going to do, ascension can be multiple means, okay? This is going to buy even more trust, and it's going to increase the LTV of that particular customer. So, how do you get them to buy more? This can be done through upsells and downsells, whether that be in your particular funnel. That can be in the inside of your emails that you are sending out on a particular basis to your subscribers. That can be done through retargeting ads. That can be done through dynamic product ads. Okay, there's so many examples that you can go through and look at this and be able to determine what you can do to put them onto ascension. Okay. Anyways, so moving on from that front, guys, now you have all these things in place. You have got them to get awareness about your brand. You see other people that are liking your stuff. You see the other people that are having all these likes and comments, okay? Now you've gotten them to subscribe to see what's further, you know, you have that. Now you can touch bases with them, keep informing them, give them discounts, whatever, whatnot, until the point that they convert. Then you can convert them, make them excited about your product. Now you have them in ascension to where they're buying multiple products. And now for the final bit, which is advocate and promote, okay? Excuse me. Oh no, I'm highlighting all this. So, advocate and promote. This is one of my favorite ways. Because honestly, this is the best, okay? So instead of just using your normal organic methods, this is going to be basically through word of mouth and extreme loyalty through your customers, right? Yes. Anyways, the loyalty that you will have from the customers, because over this process and the time you have gained their trust, and now they're ready to go out and tell their friend about XYZ brand. They're ready to go out and tell, hey, this is what you need to solve your problem. Hey, this is what you need in order to improve your life. Okay? So just imagine that. If you have one person and the LTV is long and their trust is bought within that individual, let's say person number one has 5 friends. They go out and tell 5 friends. And each of those 5 friends have another 5 friends, right? It just goes down the line, down the line, down the line, down the line. And you're going to continuously see a graph that is like this because your audience will gradually get bigger and you don't even have to pay a cent for it. Okay? And again, the promotion part of it can also be used in means of UGC or user generated content for those of you guys that do not know what that is. Okay? And that's taking where you have regular people who have, you know, do like different TikToks or whatever or whatnot. And then you see them saying, hey, get this product or whatever. Okay? But in the means of it being more a relatable circumstance and with a good hook and copy. Okay? So, moving on from that front, guys, that is just the basics of overlapping what you need to do in order to find where your circumstances are and what to fit in to make a tailored strategy to your instance that's going to help you bring up your brand, get more sales, and then ultimately, you know, make more money. You know, because that's what we want, right? We have a business, we want to make more money, and we want to have more influence. Okay? So, take all these things, write out what you can do, write out what you're doing, the specific weak points that you were having, and then test. I cannot say this enough, guys. You need to be testing each and every single thing that you do, because there are certain things that work better and there are certain things that do not work, period. And of course, the ones that are not profitable, you need to get rid of. Now, that being said together, guys, that is all the information that I have over this in this particular instance. Of course, it's basics. So what I'll do is I will put the link down below for this Google document so that way I can share it with you guys and you guys can use it and use it as a reference to implementing with your brand. So that way you can build up the basics and move forward. Okay? So now you have all that stuff together. You better go down below. Again, make sure you hit that follow button. Yeah, follow button. I'm so used to using short form content. Click that subscribe button and like. Okay? Make sure that you guys do that, especially if this content is very informative for you guys and is helpful. And of course, if you know somebody out there, make sure you refer this content to them so that way they can get this information as well and increase their brand, increase their revenue, so on and so forth. I hope all of you guys out there have a good one. And as always, what I like to say is dream big, live high, and take names. Take care out there, guys.